Fast Lane Friday. This 2018 Ram Power Wagon gets a lot of criticism, but I see only the beauty and the pros. The criticism is it's a 2500 series truck that can't tow a lot. Small gas, doesn't come with a diesel. This truck was an off-road truck, meant for off-roading. This truck has completely different suspension than all the other 2500s. The ride equals a smooth ride, a super butter soft ride. It's got a Bilstein, the upgraded Bilstein shocks on this truck, and it rides so nice. It really does. It rides like a 2500, but it's smooth and soft. We're cruising on the roads. I don't think I've ever taken this truck off-roading, even though it's a Power Wagon, it's made for that. Riding nice. We got fresh tires on this, some Nitto grapplers, 35s. Didn't have to do any adjustments on the suspension to run 35-inch tires on this truck. No spacers and fresh rotors, the Power Stop Z17s. It's not slotted, not drilled, just solid, so a better surface for the weight of this heavy duty truck. But driving around like even tight little back roads, this maneuvers pretty well, this truck. And it's got the 6.4 Hemi, plenty of power to get you the takeoff, and it's smooth. So like I said, this truck's pretty much unchanged, I feel like, except they probably have more problems. Mine is the transmission. This is 6-speed, they upgraded to 8 speeds. And I haven't driven an 8-speed yet, but people say it's better. I haven't had any complaints with a 6-speed transmission. They had to do one factory fix probably at 40,000 miles or something. They had to pull the transmission out, but it wasn't the actual transmission that failed. In 80,000 miles, this truck never left me stranded once, knock on wood, but we've never broken down, and that's solid. I had before this truck, 2014 F-150 extended bed, so it was 2 full doors with those 2 small suicide doors behind it. It was a 5.0, but it was the STX, so it was really stripped down, no bells and whistles, totally basic. It was actually sweet because the body was just looked like an F-150, took the decals off it, put some rims and nice tires on it, off-road tires, and it had the 5.0 Coyote engine, and that thing moved because it was light. But that truck, I would be on the highway, hit a pothole, it would literally jump into a different lane. It just felt so squirmy. After owning that truck for like 4 years, 'cause I bought this in 2018, I bought that truck brand new, 30 grand, traded it in. I think they gave me about like 18 grand for it. It's true though. You know, when you see that car or that truck, you're like, I want that. Was it the best option at the time? Absolutely not. 2018 Chevy 2500 gas or diesel. It would have probably been worth $10,000 more than this truck 8 years later, hindsight. But this truck in 2018, I paid $54,500 for it. Out the door with the taxes, 60 grand, all in. Right, so I had almost 20 for my truck, but even still, a $54,000 truck like this that came so well equipped, value was there. And I didn't even price out the Chevys. I kind of just aesthetically saw the Ram. I grew up watching the movie Twister. I wanted a Ram. It was enough said. I wasn't gonna buy a Tundra because everyone buys a Tundra. Just came off a Ford, didn't want the Ford built tough, even a little informative voice when it comes on. I almost punched out the center console many of times because it was so hard just to play Bluetooth. It made it sound like that, I swear. Couldn't buy that, and it just seemed like, you know, a Ram Power Wagon. It was a unique vehicle. You want to buy something that not everybody drives. You're not going to see a lot of these driving down the road. That's what I want. My GTO, for the good and for the bad, but there's not a lot of them. You don't see them driving around. Even in 2000s, you didn't see a lot of them driving around. I like that. This truck's unique. It's also a conversation starter. It's fun. Listen. This truck's 8 years old. People all the time giving me thumbs up, driving around this truck, asking about it. It's a conversation starter. I don't think a regular 2500 Chevy, the diesel would be, but a regular V8 is not a conversation starter because it's not that unique. Ford F-250 is not a conversation starter. This truck, there's more questions about it because there's a lot of unique things thrown at it. And that article from the magazine I have in the back all said, people driving this truck, they liked it. They missed it. They were in LA traffic, enjoyed it. They had the pleasure of taking this off-road. Maybe one day we will. Any real man's truck or woman, you shift it with a column shifter. And Ram went after, I think in 2019, switched to a transmission turn knob, biggest turn off in the world. It's a shifter turn knob. You can't have that. This is a column shifter. It's what a real truck has. What this truck makes it unique, you have rear lock, front and rear lock differential. You could be spinning the rear tires equally, get equal power, push you out of a situation, and you can get all 4 wheels to lock and catch and get you to pull up rocks is what it's intended for. If you're in a snowbank, you know, you can get out of it trying to pull someone out of something. This is what makes this truck cool, all right? Knobs that turn a couple millimeters is not cool. This, your 4 low, you want your 4-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low. This is how you shift it. You go into neutral, you slam it down, you pull it. It's an action. You feel it all through your arm. But to get into 4-wheel drive, you are pulling down, you are going up, and that's cool. This truck's a 2018, so it's got an 8.4-inch screen. I don't even care about a screen. What are you doing looking at a screen? You're driving, you're looking at the bumper-to-bumper traffic. I don't need a screen. You know what? I'm gonna turn the screen off when I drive. How about that? I might even get a 2004 replacement kit.
This is what I got, and it's been a pretty good truck. So, been in the shop no shortage of times. Got an extended warranty, and I really didn't do any research of extended warranties. I bought it at the dealership, and that was probably $2,400, and that added to that total out the door 60 price. And that warranty worked well for a lot of things sometimes, but big issue with this truck, heater core. They replaced the heater core after freezing my butt off driving in the thickest wool socks, still freezing. Replaced one heater core, year and a half later, same problem. Heat doesn't blow over whatever, probably 60 degrees, if that, 55. And they say it's not an extended warranty item, it's a clogged item, which is fluid based, and they don't cover that under the extended warranty. That was probably 5,000 miles ago. Fought with them as much as I could. They didn't cover it. So right now this truck doesn't have much for heat. As we're going into September, we're good. October, November, probably be okay, but I need to get this heater fixed. Let me know in the comments. You got a clogged heater core. What do you take, a straw, blow it out? Like, there's got to be something like that. I heard you can stick some small hoses to blow it out, but the dealership thinks you just replace it. I'm never going to the dealership. There's a small shop in my town. I'll try them and see what that can do. The AC worked great. I still like the truck.
So these trucks, this is 2018, but they really haven't changed much on the interior, minus the screen size. But the leather, it's the same exact seats. The leather stitching, same exact seats. You're gonna go replace this with a new one, $65,000, $70,000 for that new Power Wagon, $75,000, $80,000 even. You're getting the same exact seats this truck has, and I have meticulously maintained them over the years, moisturized them even. And what do I use? I use Adams polishes, because I've always used Adams polishes. 15 years I've been using their stuff. On top of the many cup holders this truck has, which if we were to count, I think we got 2 here on the left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I thought this truck was a true definition of a truck. You got a 6-passenger truck. This is legally 6-passenger, and boom. Bench seat, that's what a real truck is, you know. That's what gives homage to what the original trucks all had. Not the buckets everywhere, not all the stuff in the middle. This is pretty cool. You lose all the space through the drivetrain, no doubt. It is just highly inaccessible. You know, if you're over 40 pounds, it's gonna be very uncomfortable, but it's still a 6-passenger. You know what's cool in this truck? Alpine sound system. And this even comes stock with a 8-inch subwoofer in the rear underneath the seats. Alpine, it's a sound system that you think of through the 90s. It was an iconic sound system, you know, manufacturer, and sounds damn good. This is a cool feature, and people are still, you know, saying, oh wow, look at what they're doing, but this is a 2018. They've been doing it at least for this amount of years. The seats fold up. You can get a bench that goes across both sides. This is like the 60-40 split, so full bench that gives you a flat base that you can kind of get everything semi-organized for at least one day of your life. It's organized for Monday. Tuesday, it doesn't look like this, but Monday, it's gonna at least look like this to start the day.
This truck is ready for any amount of upgrades you could do. Like, I have just maintained it, got the 35-inch nice tires, but you can go crazy modding these trucks out and getting it ready for off-road, adventure style, building tents on it, and just hitting crazy terrains, and it can do great rock crawls. And I still fantasize maybe doing some light guided trails so I don't jeopardize my family and make them never go in the truck again. Knowing that you can, that's 95% of it, right? So why people don't buy the Power Wagon for sure is the bed weight. You can only put 1,500, 1,600 pounds, so they say on the side of the door jamb. in the payload of how much this truck can hold. Most 2500s, you're getting more than that. You know, a Chevy 2500 diesel, you're holding 3,500 pounds. But for me, I could stick 2 motorcycles in the back of this truck. I can stick a couple yards of soil or rocks, maybe 1 or 2, and that's all you really need it for. I'm loading materials up tons in the back of the truck. I don't have any racks, so I'm not going anything too long. You're loading up cinder blocks once in a while here and there. It's really a variety, or just loading. It's a good sized bed. It's 6 feet 4-inch bed, and those big looking, compared to this truck, new Chevy 2500s are, I think, a 6'6" bed, 2 inches bigger. It's a big size bed, you know, and if you compare it to an F-150, I think that one, you know, those are 5'5", so you get almost a foot bigger than an F-150. This is a 2500, but it's got, I think, a good balance of everything. Yeah, I get 10 miles per gallon, but that's part of, it's for the safety of the family I get 10 miles per gallon, and that's what I convince myself of. I haven't really done anything to this truck. 80,000 miles, I still don't have a bed cover. That would be the drawback on the road trips. Taking this trip to Ohio, you know, it's 650 miles each way. It's a comfortable truck. It's a safe truck. It doesn't get moved around a lot when it's heavy winds because it's got the weight of it. I think we average 15 miles per gallon. It's a small tank. It says 33 gallons. You really don't pump more than 24 into it. Even when the E-light's on, you're getting 24 gallons you're pumped into it. At 15 gallons on the highway, you're probably getting 200 in a city driving condition. It's a good truck at the end of the day. It's not a perfect truck, because those don't exist, but honestly, these new trucks, after reading reviews and hearing what people talk about new trucks, half the time this truck got repaired because the reverse camera got messed up, because the way they engineered the reverse camera cable, it goes right in between the tailgate. So every time it slams, you're literally slamming it on the cord, the electrical cord that has its small little, you know, I don't even think it has a casement cover on it. So crappy design there, but that doesn't define a truck. What defines the truck is chassis. This engine's been solid. Although on the last oil change, I realized we're low on oil, so maybe it's starting to burn some oil. Not a good sign. I gotta keep now opening up the hood. I haven't even done that. This did an oil change probably 100,000 miles ago. But this truck's always had synthetic. It's always had 93 gas. Comment if you think that's justified. I think it makes a difference on an engine. This does have a little valve tick, you know, right when you turn the truck on, you can hear that notorious ram tick. But once you're moving, it's smooth. You feel comfy over there? You damn right you do, because this truck has nice seats. The bolster, the foam in this truck, it's a high level trim. That's what changes in seats, is how hard density that foam is, and you want that right balance to give you enough kind of firmness and strength that it gives you your support in your back, yet it's cushy. And these seats are perforated. It's got the AC that comes through the seats. It's got the heat that comes through the seats. 2018. Somebody was talking about that in a review. Ooh, look at the perforated seats in the Ram. Dude, they've been doing it for, I don't know, when, you tell me, when do they start with perforated seats? This is 2018, it's got the black perforated seats, kept mint by Adams, obviously. That's it, 30,000 bucks, you could go buy one. Probably got 70,000 miles, give or take. I would trade this. If I got a new truck, I'd go buy a 2021 anniversary edition, that red-orange mix. I saw one for sale with like 18,000 miles for 52,000 bucks out in Oregon. I'm still thinking if I was in a position, I'd upgrade for that. Power Wagon. Feels good coming off the tip of the tongue. Why do you buy this truck? It's got a big sticker on the side of it. It says Power Wagon. That impresses the little boy in every man, confidence builder, and it's important to me, I guess, because I own this truck. Look at this, we got the sunroof open. The back window is 25% open space because I think Toyota patented the full window drop down. But this really does kind of have a panoramic view and great visibility. You usually don't run too many people over on a daily basis. Would I recommend this truck to a friend and family? Probably not. I don't think they could emotionally handle it. Gotta be a love for it. It's not for everybody. That's why they don't build a lot of them. But it's for me. I like pain and suffering sometimes. I like things the hard way sometimes. It's more fun and exciting, I think. But I probably wouldn't. I'd tell them to go get like a Honda and leave me alone so I don't have to hear about them complaining about any problems that they ever have again. That's the reality of recommendations. But if you want to be badass, you want a goddamn Power Wagon, then you're going to buy a Power Wagon and no one's going to tell you otherwise. I don't take recommendations. I do irrational things and pay the consequences.